Somewhere, just a short time before the close of the age of reptiles, there occurred a soundless, violent explosion. It lasted millions of years, but it was an explosion nevertheless. It marked the emergence of the angiosperms, the flowering plants with their true encased seeds, and with them the concentrated energy without which the birds, the mammals, the humans would never have existed. This is the story of a work of art. Not so much about how it got made, but what happens in it. In it, yes, because this is not just a work that you look at, it's one you enter, that you walk around in, sit on, touch, write in, write on, dance in, make music in, that you experience from the inside. It's also the story of an artist. Not an artist who paints so much as one who allows ink to find its way, who wants to listen to earth and its unheard seeds and sounds, as if the earth had its own alphabet without boundaries, full of motion, full of voices below or beyond the frequencies of our lives. It is also the story of people entering this space, finding their places on the floor, hovering around it as if circling around a glowing fire. A fire of seeds, the language of seeds, begun so long ago.
Been the same up until this point, and then, well, it changes significantly during that time. Eventually, you become a family again.
And this part to me,
Uh-huh.
me very much. I don't know why.
This is a story often told by
And
hands.
then it grows and just kind of morphs into whatever.
This honestly reminds me a lot of it.
It's a place where questions open up more questions, where life stories become art, where the floor allows us to settle in and we reach toward answers for what we might never have asked. The experience of the space takes on its own rhythms. We lean in, sometimes crawl, point with our toes, reach out to see. This is a space where the light comes from below. In this space, student and teacher take on new roles. Here, perhaps, we reinvent ourselves. Here, together, we discover new meanings. Here we welcome questions from beyond. Here we hold the seeds in our hands. Rise up and dance. The art, after all, is in the floor, maybe is the floor, and the floor leads us on. Listen in. Each person, each group adds a new dimension, but one always based in the sounds of the seeds around us, quietly crackling, and all of us waking up to what surrounds us even now.
You can see everything about the painting now. You can see everything.
It feels more alive in person.
How did you put them in this certain order? How are they like that? Is there a certain pattern?
This is a kind of a prairie in here, and these are prairie seeds, and they're curated in the way, so they're arranged in the way that they would grow best in the prairie. For example, these seeds would be supportive of each other, whereas these seeds are more independent. And the seeds that you see here, their sound vibration, are actually lying here in this painting, which is a plantable painting, covered in 24-karat gold leaf, which is extremely thin.
Even with all our human noise, we can still pause to seek the unheard. Milkweed and bergamot, dog bane and black-eyed Susie, switchgrass and butterfly weed, echinacea, big blue stem, little blue stem, their roots and sounds still there below our feet. Sometimes it's hard to tell where our own stories start and the stories of the seeds begin, and perhaps we can't ever really draw that line.
This one I was drawn to it because it reminds me of an explosion. It almost feels like self-sabotage or destruction. It feels like you kind of explode into yourself and it just all like, and like this is like also like the calmest spot. Like an inner child almost.
In a personal standpoint, I said, think about it as yourself. This is probably like what you show everybody like that you don't know, everybody that you meet. Like you show them certain points, like give them certain vibes. But when you go closer, this is what you probably show your friends. You show them a little bit more, it goes a little bit deeper. This is all like out of the whack. You show them like whatever you want to tell, but this, what you tell them is consistent. And then for your family, it's tight knit. You show them a little bit more, and then you go deeper into the circle. You show yourself, like you don't tell nobody, like certain things you think about in your mind. This is like really the inner circle, what you keep to yourself, the private part. But that's what I thought, like.
I just thought it looked really cool, and that's what I contributed. That's not.
They said really cool stuff, and I was like, wow.
Okay, you have said it looks like a thumbprint.
Taylor and I were kind of just drawn to the fact that it's not like any of the rest of them.
Yeah.
It's sharp and abrupt, and something happened that forced it into itself and then back out again.
Yep. Yeah, it's just the jutting. We both like the spike, you know, like the suddenness of it, the inexplicability of it.
I really like this one because of the violent anti-symmetry. Every other piece that I see has some form of lateral or bilateral symmetry, and this is just like, no, I refuse. And I really enjoy how this is like so calm and so gorgeous and just goes with the flow. And then how it just quickly turns into this horrible, horrible destruction. I see like a zombie head right here, which is how I got there. And I think that's so, so cool. And I'm really interested in the plant that created like, no, I refuse to be symmetrical.
I think it's really cool that they even make sounds. I never even knew that seeds could possibly make sounds. And you can just see the fact that she's taken that and made it into such like a method to like actually show the vibrations that it has on like water. It's just, it's just really cool.
She's in love with seeds.
Yeah,
She's in love with
she's
seeds.
kind of showing, that's what I'm hearing. There's a kind of community that forms around the seeds, around the art. We reach out surprised and listen to each other in ways the rest of our lives don't always allow.
And then from the material world, I can move to the non-material world and express the rest of the image.
What does it make you feel?
It's a great question. Kind of like I'm holding my breath, waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
Our connection to them and be humbled, I guess you were saying, because they can show us the way. They've been here so much longer than we have, and if we destroy them, we lose that wisdom and that we lose our maps, or we lose our way. So yeah, we're on a mission here to connect with the real maps. These one's maps. Thank you so much.
Whoever has one on this side, take us there. We shape our responses by how we learn together, laughing as we move, sometimes like crabs across the floor, with the glow coming not from above, but more from these windows below.
And then I saw it as in like, no matter what you look at, it will always have the same center, and it might go out in different directions, but the center stays the same.
And education? How often do we allow our discoveries to happen between us,
Small, intimate
with the invention of metaphor growing out of what we're just coming to know?
idea, whatever. But then also the potential of the vastness of the mountains of the ocean.
I think that's a pretty good segue.
I think that's what we talked about.
Really wonderful.
Just in the middle, it almost reminds me of the yin and the yang. And I saw this part right here as the eye in the center of the universe expanding out into
Everyone has different stories and different paths they go through until they reach the end. And I was talking about how in mental health recovery, like the recovery isn't linear, and you can see how if you trace some of the lines, it goes down, but it always has a tendency to come back up and even out in the end.
Person reaching out a distorted hand, waves pushing a boat, people fading into motions, mountain peaks jumbling together, watched over by a bird.
Ripples in the sand when wind blows, carving walls of rock, forming a divide.
What is a seed to a tree?
Or a tree to a house.
Or a house to a skyscraper?
Or a skyscraper to a mountain.
Or a seed to these giants?
Nature expands through the world, folding to fit the creases of existence.
But the creases are forever moving and changing at the will of no one.
My dream story called Paths goes up and down, yet draws to go side to side. White center is almost perfect, except for a small flicker of imperfection in its very center that makes it perfect.
All this path has is a beginning and a journey.
This journey has many things, but it's a path made from love, the love before heartbreak.
Enter cold mind, reaching the unavoidable. Vibrations fall short, ink tracks after. Forced turmoil, hatch, dissipate, frozen still.
You start the journey which slows to uncontrolled chaos that leads to the unavoidable end. What is life like for the ones who haven't lived?
There is so much rooted deep inside this arrangement of unknown lines. There is so much rooted deep inside this body I possess.
The abstract art created by the sound waves and the seeds of the art that brought you to life. The vibrations from the center of the earth rise up. You feel the innocence of the wave under your bare feet on this cool grass coming to meet you. The universe is music.
J'aime les photos du Nord, une soirée des danses vite, comme un œuf.
Sound of slavery and politics, the rice sunflower, the chaos in the storm. I sleep to avoid the fiction of the world. I am as complicated as chemistry and graceful as the gods. This is how I see myself in this audaciously, insanely, wonderfully terrible world.
Wow.
I'm on